Discipline changes an ordinary man to an extraordinary achiever. Welcome to another inspiring episode of Wealth and Wisdom with Engineer Dr. Darlington Ogota. Today, I will be discussing a very important force that is even more powerful than talent, stronger than motivation, and more essential than luck, and that is discipline. What is discipline? Discipline is the ability to control your behavior, your action, your emotions in order to achieve a certain goal or objective. It involves doing what needs to be done, even when it doesn't feel like it. Discipline is waking up in the morning, doing all your tasks, making some savings, turning off every form of distraction, not because it is easy, but because it is right. Discipline is the bridge between your dreams and your achievements. It is important to note that discipline bets consistency. Consistency leads to mastery. Mastery brings results, and results brings greatness. There is a difference between motivation and discipline. Motivation helps you to start, whereas discipline keeps you going. And that is most of the times when I have time with my staff, I share certain motivations, to them. This is to help them, to inspire them to pick. But what is most important is the discipline to continue in that line. And so discipline is based on commitment. There is no discipline without commitment. Motivation is just an emotion. Somebody could inspire you today and then you get started. But your ability to continue in that line, which at the long run produces the desired result, is what is called discipline. For example, reading and planning while others are sleeping is a good example of discipline. We all understand the comfort involved in sleeping, especially when you see that everybody is sleeping. But then when you understand the concept of discipline, you will also know that sacrifice is one of it. And that is why while others are enjoying themselves, you deny yourself certain pleasures because of the purpose you are pursuing. It is a good example of discipline. Another example is learning a new skill while others are busy, catching fun, looking for pleasure. You see, unfortunately, we find ourselves in an era where everybody just wants to be heard, everybody wants to go viral, everybody wants to blow, everybody, wants to make it very fast without even learning the basic skills. When you take your time and build yourself, learn new skills, the result might not come immediately, but certainly in no distant time, you'll be ahead of those people you are even looking at. So when you learn certain skills, you are ahead of other people. And this is what will help you to grow. It is important to note that in the journey of discipline, there's always sacrifice, there's always time, there's always patience. When I say sacrifice, I am not saying you should do anything illegitimate. Sacrifice, I mean, is denying yourself those things that ordinarily should be considered as pleasure because you have where you're heading to. And this is the mistake some people make. They ignore the process. When you ignore the process and you get to the top, you blow. But when you follow the process and you get to the top, you grow. And so if you blow, any disturbance on the system will destabilize you. But when you grow, even when the system is disturbed, you will always find somewhere to hold your hand. So I encourage you to get new skills, build yourself. Don't allow what is happening on the social media to take your time. Reduce your screen time. It's very important. As a young person, if you're not making money from the social media, it is even wrong to always be there. Invest more in assets than in appearance, because appearance may actually fail you. I want to respectfully direct these things to the girls, especially those that are not married yet, or even those that are married. You see, when you invest so much on yourself, your body, in quotes, without investing as much in your brain, what happens is that people who are looking for pleasure will always come to you because you have what they need. People who are looking for purpose will not come to you because you don't have what they need. And this is one of the major issues with a lot of the happenings in the society today. You see people spend a lot of money, to enlarge their bodies, but they don't spend as much to enlarge their brain. So as a young person, focus more on enriching your mind. Spend more to build your brain, because that is what can sustain you over time. The money you're investing so much on your appearance, may not give you the desired results as time progresses, because appearance is susceptible to time. One of the most powerful tools that can help you to build discipline is delayed gratification. What is delayed gratification? Delayed gratification is the ability to resist the temptation of immediate reward in favor of a better reward that will come in future. In other words, it is your ability to say no for now, so that you'll be able to say yes in the future. A lot of people have made this mistake of always sacrificing everything for the now, not mind, tomorrow. There are 3 variables that confront everybody. Your ability to surmount them will determine if you are wealthy or not. And these variables are time, energy, and money. You see, as a young person, the energy is always there. The time is always there. But most of the times, the money will not be there. So if you use the time and the energy you have now to pursue pleasure, it therefore means that as you get older, when the energy will be less, you will not have anything to show for it. So this is your time to build yourself, learn new skills, stop complaining about the money you have not seen. You have some basic things that God has provided you that can help you to get to where you're going, which is your time, your health, which is your energy. So these things combined can help you to get new skills, can help you to build yourself, so that you'll be able to establish a source of income that will generate the money you will need when your energy begins to go down. Invest in tomorrow's treasure over today's pleasure. This reminds me of a popular experiment called the marshmallows test. It's about a researcher who, gathered children of 5 and 6 years. And then each of these children, was taken to a room with a plate of marshmallow. And then they were asked, if they can eat immediately or wait for the next 15 minutes. And after the next 15 minutes, they will be given double of the marshmallow. So some of the children started eating immediately, whereas some waited till after 15 minutes. In the course of waiting for the period of 15 minutes, some even covered their eyes to resist the temptation of looking at the marshmallow. Some were singing to one another, to equally, avoid any form of distraction. And then what happens when the researcher returned? He noticed that some persons had already eaten their own marshmallow, whereas some waited till after the 15 minutes. And then he doubled the marshmallow of those that waited. But here is the significant thing. After some years, the researcher decided to follow up on these, people, and now they are teenagers and adults. And it was discovered that those who waited had higher academic performance. They were more confident. They had more successful businesses and relationships. This story proved the power of delayed gratification. You see, as a young person, instead of spending so much on luxuries, you can actually invest that money in businesses that can yield a very high return on their investment. For example, like the business we do, which is real estate, there's what we call land banking. Even if you're not investing immediately to build, we can actually help you to bank the land. What we do is the same way you take money to the bank, you bring the money to us, we will get a land and keep the land for you. As the land appreciates, this land can be resold, or you can use it for other, to develop it for yourself. And this way, you'll be able to build more sustainable wealth. Remember, wealth is built not in the big moves, but in the daily decisions you make. And these decisions require discipline. Yes.